Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's Brentford 2, Newcastle United 4 match review. The final game in the Premier League season. It is over. It is done and dusted. Well, not quite, because the FA Cup is still to come, of course, which is a very big interest to Newcastle United, obviously, for many different reasons, mainly Europe. And obviously, we want to see Man United get tonked. But tonight is all about that final display yesterday, which turned out to be a very comfortable victory eventually. And of course, I'm joined by the usual bunch of Stato, Billy, and of course, Lady Sam to get all their opinions. And of course, later on, the player ratings. But if you do enjoy tonight's show, guys, as usual, hit the thumbs up button for us. And of course, don't forget, if you are new, to subscribe. It is free to do so. And make sure you hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we upload any videos or we schedule our live shows. Plenty of them coming up as well. Doesn't matter if the season's finished. You can become a member of the Toon Review by hitting that join button if you want to support us that way, or you can super chat by the $ at the bottom of the live comments, which of course will get your comment guaranteed to be read out on show. Right, we will get straight into the poll, guys, because obviously the man of the match poll is an interesting one. There's 4 of us tonight, so finally we all get to pick a player. Now, Sam, you can go first. Ladies first.
Oh, how gracious. I'm going to leave you some easier ones. I'm going to say Hall.
Lewis Hall, okay. And Stato.
It's got to be Bruno, hasn't it?
Bruno.
Low-hanging fruit there.
Indeed. By the way, 12-man Toon has gifted a Toon Review membership. I do have an announcement about him, but I will read that out probably not tonight, because we'll do that in the let's see. Yeah, we'll do that in the season review, because I think we'll get a lot of people watching that, and I need a big crowd because he's doing a charity stream. So we'll sort that out. Billy Bob.
Joe Linton for me.
Joe Linton. Right, so who am I going to put? Let me have a think. No. I'll tell you what. I'm going for Harvey Barnes, because I thought he was decent yesterday. So there you go. Lewis Hall, Bruno, Joe Linton, or Harvey Barnes is the poll. What was that little laugh for, Billy?
Don't know. Just decided to make a little bit of a face.
Yeah, because I know you hate him. But there you go. The man of the match is up. Get voting, guys, and we'll come to that at the end of the show, of course, as per usual. Right, let's. I mean, look, there's been a lot of talk today about the squad that's gone to Australia, of course. A lot of youngsters have gone. Some interesting youngster names there. Am I led to believe the 2 youngsters who've gone to Australia are getting released at the end of the season? Did I not?
I think Diallo's going, isn't he?
Well, I thought Lucas De Bol was going as well.
I mean, so the youngsters, so you've got Dylan Charlton, you've got obviously Alex Murphy, but I don't consider him to be in that bracket because he's been with the first team. So Dylan Charlton, a defender, Kieran Thompson, a defender, Aiden Harris is a goalkeeper. You've got Luca De Bol's going, Travis Hearns, you've got Ellis Stanton, Jay Turner-Cook, Joe White, possibly not in that category. And in the forward line, you've got Amadou Diallo and Ben Parkinson, and then Garan Qual as well. So those are the youngsters. So yeah, a couple there that I thought were on the released list.
Yeah, I find it a bit strange. Nicole Watson, thank you for your super chat. I was going to do this a bit later, but Paul, can you please pass on best wishes to Adam P? Sorry to hear he's in hospital. Cheers. Yeah, Adam had a bit of an unfortunate accident on the tube. He lost. He passed out and was coughing up a lot of blood. So I believe he's still in hospital. I have sent him a text message as well. I haven't heard back from him yet, but obviously he's got other priorities, of course. So we wish Adam all the best, and hopefully he'll be released soon. Obviously, he's gutted because he can't go to Australia. But in circumstances like this, health really does come first. Luke says, Paul, why always wondered why you change your mic every other stream? Just have to ask, as I've always wondered. Well, they're very similar mics, to be honest. I'm just testing out different sound equipment, to be honest, and see what comes across best. This mic is now connected to a Focusrite box, audio box, so I'm just testing them out, mate. That's basically what I'm doing it for. And to be honest, I've got a couple of mics here, and if there's any microphone companies out there want us testing them, then give us a shout. We can always improve our audio, of course, but we all have good mics now, and we're all set. So yeah. Diallo gone, said Jock Bar. So sorry, says Niall. So he's definitely one of them that's gone. Very, very strange, actually, because Sam, you were talking about, you found it strange that the ball is released as well. Why on earth have they gone to Australia? What point is that?
I don't know. I really don't get it. Diallo is a real head scratcher for me, because we've actually seen him on the bench this season as well, even after the announcement that he was being released. So that personally really irked me, because I was like, do you know what, we've got so much promise coming through. Just give them an opportunity to be around the first team and actually get that sideline experience. It could have been at so much greater value for the players who we actually see a future here at the club with, and the fact that we're taking them to Australia. I don't get it. I don't.
Now, of course, the other talking point, Billy, is the fact that Richie and Dummett have gone, and Eddie Howe has incredibly come out with an interview saying that if we do reach the Europa League, it looks like those two players will get contract extensions because of the homegrown player situation. Now, I find that incredible. We're talking about trying to get rid of the deadwood now, and that's no disrespect to Richie and Dummett. They've been brilliant servants to the club, of course, over time, but their time has been and gone. Right? If we're to move on as an elite football club, we need to get these players out of the door. And that may sound harsh, but if you're looking at homegrown players, then get them from the academy. If we do get into Europe, register them or whatever it is. We've got enough homegrown talent there. So really, I think it. Again, people are questioning this, saying, does Eddie really want to lose players that are 100% behind him in the dressing room and things like that, because he's very close to them? I mean, he mentioned the characters, but listen, characters don't get you results on a football field. Not just being a character. They're done now for football reasons. I mean, I'd take Richie as a coach any day of the week, but it's a strange one again.
Yeah, and I think the Mark Gillespie one goes into the same category as a character.
Yeah.
Because he offers nothing else, but all the photos you see of him socially, he's the ringleader of it all. So
yeah,
makes little sense to me. If you want to improve as a squad and not have Deadwood in it, then you've got to get rid of them kind of players. Unfortunately, it just tells me that we haven't got a lot of money to spend in the summer. If truth be told,
don't start saying that, Billy. Dear God, let's not start that. The transfer window's not even bloody open yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Bob Grim Reaper is here tonight. Interesting enough, Alex, as well. Kieran Trippier is gone. Now he made his voice very heard about the Australian trip. Not very happy about it at all, but he's gone as well.
Well, he's kind of got to. He's a club captain for all intents and purposes right now, because Lascelles is out till Christmas, so he's got to do his bit. He's the guy. However, I see his point. Look, people complain about the wages again. I've hammered this point home several times in the last 18 months. It doesn't matter how much you pay them; they're not robots. You need to give them a break. There are countless examples of it all over European football. Look at Pedri for Barcelona. He was fantastic, one of the best midfielders on the planet. They played him about 75 matches for club and country. He's broken. The poor boy can't. The poor boy's really struggling now. He's really struggling to get any form, any fitness to get back into the Barcelona team. These people can't play that much football. You can't ask them to do it to the level they're playing it at. It's superhuman. It's insane.
I mean,
especially for somebody like Trippier and his age, you've got to give them a rest, because this is their pre-season. Half of these lads have got to go. Well, some of the better players have got to go play in European competition now for their country. So you need to give them 2 or 3 weeks off. It's just madness. Otherwise, but we don't want all of these lads going and having a massive, all of these promotional games, then a European competition, then come straight back into our season with Conference League games on top of it. Otherwise, come December, we're going to be right back to where we were last December, and it's not going to be good at all. So it's, Trippier is completely bang on. But then again, we need to grow the club. So it's,
well, we do. I can understand that side of things. I just think the timing of it is absolutely bizarre, and for Spurs as well. They've just finished a season, a very hard season.
Couldn't this have been done in pre-season properly?
Well, yeah, but there's players going to be involved in summer tournaments. I think the Copa America's on in the summer as well. So you've got 2 major tournaments going on, which a lot of players are going to be involved in. And then you're kind of thinking the last thing they want to do is, and I know I said this yesterday that they're going in first class and everything will be luxury for them and on the plane and things like that. But it's not really the point. The point is they want to get away for a few weeks with their families. Certainly, the players that are going to be involved in internationals. And it just very strange timing. But of course, we're off to Japan in pre-season as well, Sam. So, they are definitely jet setting and trying to build the club.
Well, this is it. And I understand it commercially. I completely get that this is a revenue generating exercise and also helps us build that global fan base. None of that is in question, but I think we've all raised the same points and concerns. You're talking about what is an 18-hour flight. It doesn't matter if you are first class. Jet lag is a killer. It's not that comfortable, and the lads do need a break.
Of course, you're speaking from recent experience, aren't you? You've been over to Canada.
Again, with work, I went with work and then straight back into what would be a regular work day on jet lag. It is an absolute killer for short periods of time, no matter how fancy the facilities are and how much luxury that they do get. And I think there's a lot to be said for for mental health reasons as well. They need time with families. They need time to press the reset button. We've been in this position before with fixture congestion. I just don't want to see a repeat of that.
It's interesting, but I mean, as Susan puts it there, the match is just for promotion of the club. They want to raise the profile of football and Newcastle. We need the publicity and money from other markets. The young ones can travel well and will enjoy it. No Minte in the squad, though. I've
got the squad up. I don't know if you want to use the...
I was pretty convinced he would go, actually, but there you go. That's who's gone.
So everyone on the pitch is who's gone.
Everyone on the pitch, yes. Has Fabian Schär gone? I
don't think Schär went, did he?
I don't think Fabian Schär's gone, by the way.
No, my apologies. Fabian Schär did not go. So let's take Fabian out. He's not there either. So that is, I believe it's that. But there's a few more question marks. It's not just about Minte's not gone. But you've also got the likes of Jamal Lewis, who's presumably come back from loan. What's happened to him? Bondswell, does he still exist?
Well, I would imagine he still exists, Alex.
Well, obviously, but there's just a few question marks about these players that were senior players. Jamal Lewis was bought for £10-12 million. Where is he? That's a huge investment.
He was on loan, of course, at Watford last season. Watford have said that they aren't going to sign him on a permanent deal, so he's not going to be around. He's not got a future at Newcastle United. So I don't know how long Jamal Lewis has got left on his contract, but clearly.
He was involved in last pre-season, and I thought he did okay. He wasn't terrible. He was all right. I thought he might have had an outside chance of being a squad player until we committed to Lewis Hall.
Ashby's gone as well, by the way.
Ashby's gone, Alex. Yeah, Harrison Ashby.
Yeah, let's get Ashby in. I don't know if he's got a squad number. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. But Ashby. Oh, if I can spell Ashby. Yeah, let's throw him out there. He might get some game time as well. I don't even know where half of the players play. Kieran Thompson and Dylan Charlton, I can't say I'm familiar with where they play positionally in the back line. Anybody who watches the under-21s again, who lives in the Northeast, please let us know where some of them play. Because obviously we know some of the big hitters like Hearns and De Bol, but as for Stanton, I don't know exactly how he operates in midfield. And the same with a few of these in the back line. I don't quite know exactly how they play. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, Rafi Benassi is saying 23 hours of flying because I think they went to Dubai first, didn't they? And then they went from Dubai onwards to Australia.
Oh, what time is it now?
No, they're on the EK 406 Emirates plane, which lands at 8:15 our time.
Well spotted.
So the thing is, I mean, that's bizarre that they actually. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? That they left last night after a tough game. Up the A1, thank you for your super chat. Apologies late here, so going back to the beginning, fabulous commentary yesterday. Thank you very much, guys. Much love to you and the family. I mean, talking about the game yesterday, Billy, we were saying before kickoff that, you know, whoever was going to Australia didn't know how they would feel about playing a tough game in quite really difficult circumstances yesterday because the weather was really hot. We thought Isak was done after 15 minutes, but he was like a spring chicken for the final part of the first half. But we didn't know how they were going to come out for the game. But once that goal was disallowed from Brentford, we just absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah, well, the game yesterday was way more important than the trip to Australia's results. That's the king hodl, just in case you lot beat us. But probably isn't going to happen. It was a crucial game for us. It was our last chance saloon, last bite of the cherry. Had we not won yesterday, we wouldn't have been in Europe, and we've got 1 foot there now. So, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the game.
Yeah, I just want to say, Billy, before you go on, me and you were chatting this afternoon on WhatsApp. There's a channel or two put out that Newcastle United celebrating Newcastle being in Europe. We're not there yet. And I think it's a little bit judgmental to say, Newcastle get into Europe for a second season running. Anything can happen in this FA Cup final. I know we're all behind Manchester City, and Manchester City have said that they're taking the game very seriously, despite the fact that we're partying until 5 a.m. this morning or something. That's their right to do that as Premier League champions, by the way. However, let's not count chickens before the hatch, or let's not squeeze lemons, or anything like that, whichever cliches we want to come out with. Yes. However, look, we're not there yet. Let's hopefully by this time next week, we will be in Europe, and then we can start concentrating on bringing these better players through the door. But let's not be putting things out saying, Newcastle qualify for Europe again. I mean, it's wrong. Okay, we haven't qualified yet. We've done all we can. Eventually, we did all we can, but it isn't certain yet. 12-man Toon, Paul, thank you for another super chat, mate. He says, the lads seem to be constantly doing something this summer, especially the lads in Europe. I'm going to be concerned for fitness next season again. Does it concern anyone of you for fitness next season again?
Marginally, yeah.
Well, those that have gone to Australia then have got the Euros or the Copa America, then come straight back virtually into the pre-season training. You know, it's 2 years virtually solid football since the World Cup when some of our players went to that. So, yeah, it does concern me, I've got to say.
If the rumours of us re-signing Matt Ritchie and Paul Dummett are true, they weren't trusted anyway. We were playing odds and sods and we were playing funny shapes just to avoid using them. We played a 17-year-old to avoid using Matt Ritchie in midfield. So it doesn't fill me with faith and confidence that they're good enough to perform in a squad role in any capacity next season. So yeah, I'm really concerned about it. It's quotas. It's why we can't really get rid of Longstaff or Anderson. I know people say if we get a cheap
it's Longstaff and Anderson. I agree, Alex. I think they've got to be around next season for squad depth, but I think the likes of Dummett and Ritchie just don't. But there's one player missing and one youngster missing from that trip to Australia, which is very, very surprising me, and that's Alfie Harrison, Sam. He's brought in with a lot of potential, a lot of quality, yet they've left him out.
Are we sure Harrison's not?
He hasn't. Definitely not.
Really? I didn't know
on
that.
The list I've seen.
Oh my goodness! Right, well, yeah, that's a bit frightening, then, isn't it?
It's not right. I mean, Billy Alfie Harrison, he's done from all the reports I've seen, he's done very well for the under-18s. I think I know they were absolutely pummeled on the final day of the season. But are you surprised he hasn't gone?
I am a bit, yeah. given some of the names that we have seen. I know he's new in the door. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but still, a lot of that quality who's come for the Man City academy, you'd think would be going to Australia to kind of further himself in the squad. And I was kind of hoping he'd be pushing the first team squad next season. But that still might happen, of course. He might have a great pre-season, but if he's not going to Australia, it kind of puts him a little bit behind the 8 ball, doesn't it?
I think we know that Eddie always seems to have trust issues with anybody. They need like significant time to either bed into the team or get up to spec for him, which is I get it to a degree, but I think that way of thinking has harmed us at some times this season when we've needed extra bodies who could have come in and played a role. We haven't been able to do it. I think given his experience around a team like Man City seniors, he's been around our senior team as well. Why wouldn't we look to take him? This is a lad who specifically said he wanted a route to first team football when he signed for us. I don't think he's been given that opportunity yet. Could he be questioning coming to us? I've certainly questioned it myself.
Yeah, I think he's got plenty of time left. I'll be a bit more concerned, I think, if he's not involved in pre-season, because this lad's been training with Man City's first team. He's come with a boatload of potential. And I know he's still young, but I'd still like to see him around the first team just to see, how it would blend in, give him a few games in pre-season. I guess we'll have to wait and see what the pre-season squad is. Look, we know they're going to Japan. We haven't had any fixtures through yet before they go, of course. They'll play
a couple, I think.
Have we?
Yeah. I'll have a look. I'm pretty sure we know.
While you're finding that, Alex, I think what makes it worse is that we have the released Diallo in the side and not
Andy Ball.
Two players that will be coming back home and then won't be part of Newcastle United. I do not get why they've taken them. It's a strange one, a very, very strange one. Thank you to everybody that's told us Minte played yesterday, of course, for Feyenoord, but we played as well. But obviously, he's out there in Holland, and to get him over for a flight to Australia, he would have had to probably travel on his own because he wouldn't have caught the flight that the whole squad were on. So I can kind of understand that. People asking why Sean Longstaff hasn't gone. I mean, why? Why would we take Longstaff? I mean, A, he needs a rest. B, he's been injured for most of the season, if you believe what you're being told. So he needs time out. He needs to get himself sorted because he is going to be a squad member next season.
I'm sure Australian fans will be gutted.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be devastated. I mean, obviously, one player that is in the squad is Garang Kuol. He's had another dreadful season out on loan. Alex, it hasn't gone his way, but he's gone to Australia. I mean, do we still see an opportunity for Garang Kuol to push himself into Eddie's reckoning, given that he's had 2 horrible spells on loan?
Potentially. It doesn't mean he's not good enough. It's not a great indicator, though. We'll just have to see how he gets on in pre-season. I mean, again, no disrespect to any Australian viewers here, but it wasn't about him as a transfer. It's about making lots of those transfers. It's about what Chelsea used to do, and we need to do it as well. We did it with Minte. We've done it with Kuol. You need to take these gambles. You need to roll the dice. You need to buy a lot of young, hot prospects. Some of them are going to work for your team. Some of them you're just going to flip. Some of them are going to fail. I think at this point in time, based on everything we've seen so far, I think it's unlikely he's going to succeed and be in our first team. I think it may be the second option of we need to develop him as much as we can and sell him. Hopefully for the young lad, I hope it's not the third. I hope he doesn't fail because he seems like a nice guy. So I found the Japan fixtures as well. It's Urawa Red Diamonds on the 31st of July in Saitama. And then we've got the Yokohama F Marinos on the 3rd of August in Tokyo. So those are the 2 confirmed fixtures. Yeah, and the club did a few funny little graphics of Gordon.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah, but I was talking about the fixtures before we go. You know how before we went to America last year, we had a few home fixtures.
Yeah, no, there's nothing been announced.
And I wonder if they'll do like a Cellar Cup tournament again at St James's. There'll be all sorts of that as well. So there'll be a good opportunity for these players to shine, I reckon. Joe Linton, who's been a member for 2 months now, seeing loads of clickbait articles saying Bruno and Isak to Arsenal. load of crap. Don't believe a word of it. Don't believe a word of it. And even more so, right? Eddie Howe has stated, and I said this in the show earlier on today, that he wants to keep them. He wants to build a side around them. The two players themselves have reiterated on numerous occasions that they want to stay at Newcastle United, and they've gone on the Australian trip. Now, you're telling me if Bruno was to leave Newcastle United, would they have taken him to Australia? I don't think so. And Bruno's obviously, in his interview after the game yesterday, stated that they are hoping, obviously, Manchester City win, because Bruno, in his exact words, said, we want to be in Europe next season. So, he's talking about being a Newcastle player next season, Sam. So you're going to get all these rumours kicking off again. But the bottom line is we don't know. That's what it is. But I personally think he'll be here.
Just look at the celebrations we've had over the past couple of weeks. Is that a player that looks unhappy to you, Arsenal? Like really, it's just doing... It's doing my napper in. Like, I'm sick of seeing all of our players. Like, we've had it with Gordon as well, off to Liverpool, and this AI just putting different shirts on them and stuff. These are not unhappy players. They've been brought in believing in the project, and I think on that pitch you can still see that belief is there, that we are going to go on this upward trajectory, and people are going to have to just get out of the way of it. Like the hat celebration, the flag one, he ain't leaving.
And I mean, look, I've seen a couple of newspaper articles today saying about Isak, and Arsenal have targeted another striker should they not get Isak. Well, I think you should go and look at that other striker, because to hell with yous. But the goals yesterday, Billy, that we scored were really good goals. The first one, of course, we wanted to see a bit more from Harvey Barnes, of course, started the game. Beautiful ball in from Bruno, wasn't it? And a really, really good header.
It was a phenomenal ball from Bruno. With no angle, he managed to bend it round in between the two centre halves, where Harvey Barnes made a fantastic run. And give him credit, he powered a header past the keeper, didn't he? It was a fantastic header. I know he was close in, but it's still had to get it down and below the bar. A really, really good goal, really good build up to it as well. Bruno was fantastic in that as well. 2 assists and a goal. What a game.
I mean, the second goal was really, well played by Isak, Alex, who showed good pace to get away, and then a perfect ball across for Jacob Murphy just to tap home.
Yeah, well, it's only his second assist of the season, and it's definitely obvious that he's got more quality than what we've seen to offer. He can definitely play sort of out wide and be a link-up player. And that is not a bad pass. I mean, there's always the old joke from sort of Shearer, the best, the best crossers of the ball are the nines and the strikers, because they know exactly where to put it. And it was that drifted out to the left, and that was you described it as perfect ball. It was absolutely perfect. You don't get it any better than that. It was in the perfect lane where the goalkeeper can't quite come and claim it. Nobody else can get a foot on it, and it just drifts to the back post. It's absolutely spot on. It's very odd to see him only get 2 assists this season when he can do that. I think it's just down to squad depth and lack of flexibility. He's not been able to kind of, it took him ages to get up to that fitness again. He's had a bit of, considering he's got 21 goals in the league, that's fantastic. But I think he can give us even more. If he can stay fit for a full season, we might be able to see him contribute and build up as well. It's just, it was incredible. It was the easiest goal Jacob Murphy scored this year.
Yeah. Luke, who's been a member for nearly 2 years now, thank you for your support, Luke. Really appreciate that. Obvious why Longstaff hasn't travelled. His skin is as pasty as mine. He's bombed Oz out because he doesn't want him back with a bout of the old skin. Big C. Well, I mean, I believe his girlfriend's very much ready to have the baby as well. So that could be another reason why that Eddie hasn't taken him. Keith Truscott, thank you for a super chat. He says, have even seen a pic of Gordon in a Liverpool shirt, which is utterly laughable. Absolutely. And a massive hats off to Anthony Gordon, by the way, for what he did for that young kid yesterday was absolutely incredible. The tweet only went out, I believe, yesterday morning. Certainly, I just saw it yesterday morning. And I did see Anthony Gordon reply saying, please DM me. And then suddenly in the afternoon, he turns up in Manchester. I think it's an incredible gesture. And well done, Anthony Gordon. I mean, that is just incredible generosity. And you saw the kid's face. I mean, that poor kid's going through an absolute hell on earth, and so are his family. So for him to just turn up like that after seeing a message on Twitter is quite honestly says a lot about the lad. It says a lot about his maturity, his kindness, his personality, and I can't believe we used to hate him. But there you go. We don't hate him. We love him now. He's one of us, and he'll be one of us for years to come. So Liverpool, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, yesterday, of course, we scored a fourth goal, and it was Bruno. Sam, the magic hat was thrown from the supporters. He puts it on. It's now leading up to that goal. I still believe, looking at it 2 or 3 times today, I believe that was a penalty kick. I was astounded the referee didn't sort of overturn that, because I don't know how they can be 100% sure that it was or wasn't in the box. But then justice was served as the goalkeeper makes a hash of the save, spills it straight out to Bruno. He sticks it in the net.
This is it. Justice was indeed served. I mean, was it a clear pen? Probably not. I think it was just outside the box, but obviously the velocities carried him through. Either way, it was obviously disappointing not to be awarded it as a pen, but then to have it off the keeper was even sweeter. Like moments after was absolutely fantastic, and I just think he's just superb. It's just astonishing sometimes what he can actually do there. Barnes was in a great position for the header as well. The accuracy in that cross that he put in, then the assist to Isak as well. He's just the maestro in the midfield, and he really just dictates the play. And I think we've really missed Joe Linton that, because the enforcer, and seeing them together and with Bruno's tenacity and Joe Linton's athleticism, it's just fantastic to watch. And just positionally, it just anticipates the game so well, and the focus is unbelievable. Just chef's kiss.
The point of it for me was the fact that the referee, well, VAR overturned it. It wasn't a case of referee had a look at it.
Yeah, he didn't even go look at the screen, did he? But
he was caught firstly outside the box, but he then caught again inside the box. It's a penalty kick all day and every day for me. Yeah.
I was astounded. But like we said, justice was served. We scored from the free kick. Davey T says, I've been going on about Visser all season. Great goal. I think he'd be great for us. Well, what I would say, Davey, is go and watch him in the previous fixture at St. James's Park, because he was absolutely dreadful in that game. I mean, dreadful. I'm not sure if this is the answer. It was a magnificent goal he scored. Don't get me wrong. However, we need to be aiming a bit higher than Visser. But I understand he scored a great goal, no doubt about it.
A couple of cracking dives and all.
My God, how he wasn't sent off. I mean, he should have had 2 yellows for diving. But that first one was atrocious.
That was hilariously bad, wasn't it?
Well, the fact that he got up and argued with the referee about it, I think is a disgrace, quite honestly. I mean, the replays, he sort of falls over. No foot. Lewis Hall doesn't even move his foot. Absolutely mental. But Billy, you made a point of this yesterday in talking about Joe Linton and his what he brings to the midfield and how much we've missed him this season, because my God, he's just a beast, isn't he?
Unbelievable fitness as well. I mean, got 70-odd minutes. We expected an hour. Begs the question, why wasn't he given an hour against Manchester United when you see him play like that yesterday, if I'm perfectly honest? But he allowed Bruno to play. We saw him in more space, Bruno, because of Joe Linton. Had an absolutely outstanding game. I'm going to go as far to say, had Joe Linton remained fit and Nick Pope, we'd have been in top 4 this season. I think Nick Pope alone gets to top 4. Joe Linton maybe pushes us up a little bit further. I don't know, but we've missed him so much.
I mean, let's not forget Nick Pope yesterday, by the way, guys. I mean, commanded that area again brilliantly yesterday. I still think he needs to work on his distribution. Don't get me wrong with that. But his commanding of his penalty area is just superb. I mean, those balls that Brentford fired over the top, Nick Pope was out like lightning, and then it kills the attack, because Nick Pope then just lets the ball roll back into the penalty area. He picks it up. And of course, he made a brilliant save from a header from what's his face, Ivan Toney, down to his right-hand side, which was an incredible reflex save. A couple of super chats come in. Another one from Keith Truscott. Thank you, Keith. Bruno, Tonali and Big Joe in midfield, utterly filthy. Cannot wait for that. I mean, that's that's why I think we don't necessarily need to turn our attention to midfielders next season, because we've got those three certainly as starters, and we've got good backup in sort of Willock if he stays. We've got obviously Sean Longstaff, Lewis Miley, Elliot Anderson. We've got a big bulk of players who can play in midfield, so I'm not particularly worried about midfield next season. I think we'll have one of the best midfields in the country, to be honest. Roblox, thank you for your super chat. Bruno and Alex Isak signed on knowing we were on a 5-year plan. We're 2 years in. They're going nowhere. Everybody needs to calm down. Calm down. I mean, I agree with that. I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm pretty confident they're not going anywhere. So, a correction on the flight. Newcastle team are on the XG 466 from Stansted to Dubai to Melbourne. They land at 10:20 p.m. tonight. So there you go. Baz Down Under says another Toon podcast says no pen. Which one? Because I'm interested. What they didn't see that
I've just been scrambling through the rules trying to find the relevant bits, and I haven't been able to find it yet. So,
well, he got caught outside the box first, but he stayed his feet then, and then he got caught again and went down. It's penalty.
Yeah, it was the second one really that I think the referee responded to as well.
I think so, yeah.
And then he's informed by VAR to look at the first one when he's already blown for a foul for the second one. That's when he blew the whistle and gave the penalty. Dean says, evening all, great result yesterday. I thought the J7 made a massive difference to us and freed Bruno to do what he does best. Well, that's what we've missed. Pope's positioning for sweeping at the back. Yeah, absolutely.
Where was the flight comment, by the way? So I lost it.
It's the flight number is XG466. It left Stansted to Dubai to Melbourne. Are you going on Flight Radar 24 now, Alex?
No, not me. No.
I've got Flight Radar.
Alex,
on my
can you
phone,
just
so
pronounce a couple of places that you happen to see? Like when you said Tokyo before, I just absolutely loved it.
Oh,
Anything?
Oh, come on, man. He loves. You know what he's like. He loves doing that with mentioning places, doesn't he? You know, he'll always try and put the accent in. Although his Japanese accent was absolutely shocking there. I mean, I think he was trying to talk in a.
I've always done it. It just depends. It depends where I am. To be fair, the funniest thing. I mean, this is maybe more reserved for a TTR Friday. But the funniest thing is when I was growing up in Spain. If I used to mention an English city in an English accent, they wouldn't understand what it was. If I said Newcastle or Manchester in an English accent, they wouldn't know what I was saying. I would have to say El Manchester in like a Spanish. Otherwise, they wouldn't know what I was saying. I would have to say it in their accent to them. So, to be fair, you do see this a lot, don't you, with the English people putting on a funny accent when they're in their country.
When I'm in Fuerteventura in July, Alex, I'm going to turn around, and if they ask where I'm from, I'm going to say the Toon man and see if they understand. They won't, and they'll look at me very, very stupidly, to be honest. The review panel, they did vote 4-1 against the penalty, but who? I mean, the review panel is just a load of literally a crock of shit. That's
the Wednesday night one. Now that wasn't it? That was the Wednesday night panel.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
The Anthony Gordon one against Man United. That's what that was all about.
Lady Sam just had to take a phone call. She'll be back shortly. Luke says, I saw Willock in the Central Station on Saturday afternoon. It shocked me just how thin and diminutive he looked up close. I didn't go over. Didn't want to be that guy. Well, there's been a few of them guys this season. I thought you're from Durham, Paul, rather than the Toon. Well, I live in Durham. Yes, Tom.
Called out there by Tom.
Well, I haven't, because that's not where I'm born. So kiss my ass, Tom Lynch. Anyway, we'll move on to the player ratings very shortly when Lady Sam gets back. Just had a meeting for Metroland. We're going to the Fringe this year. So late to the party, but just want to thank all 4 of you this season. Been good company for me, says the Blubber King. Metroland? I mean, is it making a return? Surely not. Surely not. King Hoddle says we've gone from not even knowing who teams were playing pre-postseason to now tracking flights. Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's weird to think about. That was all. I was at work today, and I was thinking to myself, they're still on that flight. Like it's such a long
apparently,
flight.
Alex, they're 2 hours and 33 minutes from landing in Melbourne.
Where are they then?
Such a long
Whereabouts are
flight.
they? Are they over sea or over land or what?
Well, I would assume they'll be over Australia now if they're going in. If the way I think they're going, they'll be over Australia now because it's huge. Remember, I mean, it takes 4 hours or something like that to fly from Perth to Melbourne, which is
yeah. Go on, Steve. I'd love to know.
I've still got the screen share on. What was the flight number? XG466.
Yeah, I mean, where have we gone here? It's a match review, and we're tracking a plane flying over friggin' Australia.
Oh, are we still on? I've had a phone call in this time. Like,
didn't worry.
I just want to know where they are. We want to know where they are.
Well,
do I need a trial?
They're over Australia.
But where?
Well, who gives a toss? They'll probably Australia.
how are they doing? Are they okay?
I know. I mean, the Australia guys. Remember, there's a lot of coastal places, but then when you get into the middle of it, it's just sand. It's just derelict land. Well, not derelict, but you know what I mean. I'm going to get myself in trouble here. Well, back onto the accent, Sam. I mean, look, if you're going to
back on that.
mention Tokyo and things like that, then you have to say it as they would.
Oh, there you go. I've got it.
I play Tokyo. You know.
Oh God, here we go.
Let's not get us cancelled before pre-season.
Yeah.
No, that's how they speak. That's a Japanese accent.
Oh, so accurate. So accurate.
You've got a camera, you can take a little photo.
I mean, I've just upset the whole of Australia calling it derelict land. That's not what I meant to say.
Did you say derelict?
Yes, but I meant to say that it's a lot of deserted or desert land and things like that. It's very what's the word I'm looking for here?
Lots of bush there.
Yeah. The bush. That's right.
Unlike Brazil.
Yes, very much so, Billy. Let's move on to the play ratings.
What are we doing again?
I don't know where this show's gone tonight. I mean, we started off talking about Australia. Now we're tracking flights.
I found the flight if you want to see it.
Go on, show us.
Let's have a look.
Well, I don't want to put it on screen because Paul will have a meltdown. There you go.
Right, so there they are. They're over Australia.
Yeah,
so they're over land.
Now, they are currently flying over the Plum Ridge Lakes Nature Reserve.
Yes, which is nothing. It is.
And they've got to go
a desert
over
land.
Adelaide and down there. So that's where they're going.
Yes,
and that's their plane as well. So if anybody's interested,
wonder if I've got the duty-free tabs yet.
Oh,
I mean, apparently Spurs are just ahead of them, Alex. So that they're still, I mean, they're having a race.
They did finish a couple of places above us, so I wonder if that's theirs in front.
Well, it probably is. Ronald says, I met my fat ex in Metroland as a kid. As my mates looked too young to go to the Toon, I wish I had went to the Toon instead. Dear me. No, they're not there yet. And what are we? Kids sitting in the back seat. Somebody asked if we can do an Australia. Yes, Marcus, brilliant comment. I meant to say very unpopulated land. As you go across Australia, a lot of it is. My uncle lives in Australia. He lives in Brisbane, and my cousins are out there. So
that's a get out of jail free card if I've ever
it is.
It.
Yes,
oh wow!
Don't mention get out of jail free in Australia in the same sentence, Sam. Come on.
Oh God!
You said that, not me.
Paul's gone.
Welcome to the new law, viewers.
Oh, we've been lower than that, to be fair. So
we have.
Yeah, I mean,
we've set the bar so low at this point. It's not
just
limbo under the thing. Get in.
I mean, just when I think we don't have any more reasons to be cancelled, Billy opens his gob again. Anyway, guys still calling women names. Strange, says Anthony. I don't know what that's all about. Peter Proudlock has relatives in Canberra, which is the capital of Australia, by the way. Everybody, if you ask certain people, they'll say, oh, it's Sydney. No, it's not. It's Canberra. Sparsely inhabited in the outback sounds even better. Well done, Kenzie. Thank you for assisting me in better speech. I blame the illness. It makes me say silly things at silly times. Normally, I am very, very mature and confident and don't say silly things on this show. However, my colleague down there with the beard, so obviously that rules.
I thought you were talking about me there.
Absolutely not. He opens his gob and gets the show cancelled again. But let's move on to the play ratings, shall we? Because it's the final play ratings of the season. This is going to be pretty straightforward, I would imagine. So, Alex, I mean, we don't have to talk for half an hour about each player. I think
we do. I think that's how this works.
No. Look, at this rate, the way you do player ratings, Newcastle will land in Australia before we actually finish the show. No. And by the way, everything in Australia wants to kill you. Every animal in Australia, spiders, snakes, sharks, a lot of them.
There's terrifying koalas, Paul.
Stonefish.
Hey, koalas can scratch your eyes out, Alex. Did you know that?
Well, if you're slow enough to get swiped by a koala, then you got issues.
Have you just time checked Alex for player ratings, yet you go on a tangent about...
I just needed to fit that in, actually, just in case anybody's thinking they're going to Australia. Get yourself on YouTube, check out all the animals that can, I'm sure there's a Dr. Sting.
I mean, they are flying over Kangaroo Island, to be fair, so...
Well, there you go. They're built like brick shit houses, some of them. Have you seen them fight sometimes? They've got muscles bigger than bloody...
I'm sure Joe Linton would give them a good run for their money, to be fair.
Actually, probably would, yeah. 12-man Toon, thank you for another super chat. Lowest I've seen this channel was sending John Sinclair to The Hague for apparently being a Manchester Reds fan. Well, he deserved it.
That's how we could get some money, some promotions. We could do Joe Linton versus the biggest kangaroo. That'd sell like hotcakes, that would. Yeah. I'd watch that.
I'd pay for that ticket.
And you've got to watch the honey badgers as well, because the honey badgers will rip your testicles out. Right, let's start with the... player ratings. We'll start off with Martin Dubravka, Billy. Nick Pope. Jesus Christ. I'm so used to saying that now, aren't I? So used to saying that. Good God.
Well, it was great having Nick Pope back. Just gave us more confidence as fans, but mainly. He controlled his area really well. 2 fantastic saves, one with his foot, one with a diving save to his left, I think it was. Would it is in his right, can't remember. But it to deny Tony. An 8 out of 10. And fantastic, he's back.
Well, I've just seen Dean Stevenson give him a 4. That's outrageous. That is outrageous just for conceding 2 goals, which he couldn't. There was no chance for him anyway.
You could have put 2 goalkeepers in goal for the second goal. No, they wouldn't have stopped it. That was outrageous.
Yeah. Unuwama's gifted a Toon Review membership. I'm really not sure how to pronounce that name. I do apologise. That's
I thought I was going to have to call an ambulance there. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Umwamwa.
There.
Umwamwa.
Okay. I do apologise. I really do. I just...
you bending the vowels?
Just let Alex say it. We'll get a laugh at least.
I think it's Aboriginal or something like that.
Billy, no, come on.
No. It's like that. It's like that kid's film. What's it called?
With the Stig of the Dump. No.
with Jason Momoa. It's when they sing the songs. It's a musical kids film. I don't know what it's called, but
what is it? Moana.
Moana. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Got it.
Flipping hell. Haroldinho, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for signing up. I really do appreciate that. Dear God, everybody's putting Moana now, so yeah.
That's it.
Okay, Sam, Nick Pope.
8. Just great to see him back. I'm so pleased to see him back. I'm probably giving him a point extra just for returning there. I think the stop with the feet was absolutely brilliant. The other to defend Tony was excellent. Great. Just sad that we didn't actually see him in from the Brighton game, but it's what it is.
Yeah. I've gone an 8 as well. I thought he was really commanded his box really well. And of course, obviously, the save he made from Ivan Toney, I'm not blaming him for any of the goals at all. Alex?
I think an 8's maybe a little bit high, but because we conceded 2, but I'll go with an 8 as well, because you're not stopping that second one.
How Irish do you want to sound there? I think an 8's a little bit too high, but I'm going to give him an 8. I mean, your player ratings are bizarre at times, Alex.
Well, it's because we can't do halves. I think 7's a bit too low, but 8's a little bit too high. Right. So I'm going with the 8. I loved the save against the Tony shot. I was expecting it to go in. In fact, I'd said this to Billy when we were recording the podcast yesterday. I'd physically turned away because I was waiting for it to roll into the net, because it's what happens with Martin Dubravka's in goal. So, and then I was pleasantly surprised that it was saved with a foot. I don't think Martin's ever saved anything with his foot. So, yeah, I'll go with the 8. It was nice to see him back.
Yeah. Rich Baxter says, said it before, Mwanu is an asteroid that's passed us a few years back.
Where's
and it's
the
been
nude from?
considered as more tech than rock, which made it
Just
interesting.
adding letters at this point.
Rich, I couldn't think of more. If I read that again, I'll fall asleep, man. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move to the right back position where Emil Kraft played yesterday. Alex.
Not terrible from him, but the fact that Jan Elton Visser had reasonably good games between the two of them, and they were both of the ones who scored. I mean, he's got to take some kind of responsibility for that. I feel like, again, the second goal, it was incredible from him. Lightning pace, good sort of movement to give himself the space, and then in off the.
Well, it was
Dan
Burn that
he ran it down Burn as well. Yeah. But Kraft, I'll go with a. I want to go with a 5. I don't think it was particularly good from Kraft.
Wow.
Well, again, he won 1 duel all game, no crosses, no long balls. 2 goals came from players on his side.
I can understand, actually, no crosses from the right back yesterday, I think is pretty...
Well, no accurate crosses anyway. He didn't find anyone.
Yeah,
he wasn't. Again, he's for a squad player. He's meant to be the third choice right back. So for the third choice right back, he's way more than adequate. If you look at all the other Premier League teams, I think we've got one of the better third choice right backs. He's very solid. So, but it was a tough game for him. It was a very difficult front 3, but a 5.
I've gone with a 6. Again, I just think he was steady away. To be honest, I think he was just steady as he has been since coming back in. Sam.
6, like to see him going forward more, but he's just solid defensively. Fine. Yeah.
Billy?
Yeah, not great. Not rubbish. In between. I'll give him a 5 as well. Same as starter.
Okay. So I guess because I own the channel and Lady Sam is a lady, we'll get the overall riding on that. So he got a 6. Right, we'll move across to Lewis Hall. Billy Bob.
Started shakily, defensive-wise, but he did definitely grow into the game.
Yeah.
And didn't he go into it? Good grief. Second half, he was absolutely unbelievable, both defensively and going forward. I mean, again, that left foot, I keep saying it's a wand, but he's got some fantastic skills as well. Because of the start, I'll give him a 9.
The Mex.
I thought we were going to get the Aussie Paul Gallant because it's
well, I mean, listen. Anyway, Sam.
Sorry, I'm really distracted by that. Who are we doing? Paul.
Paul, yeah, that was a terrible profile picture. That's scary.
It
shit,
really was. It really threw me. Anyway, an 8. I think probably made to look slower in parts when he's actually not that slow, just outpaced by his man sometimes, missed a couple of interceptions and passes, but brilliant going forward. I think he is just such a talent for the future of the squad, foundations of a top class player. So yeah.
I'm giving him a 9. I thought he was outstanding yesterday. He did have a dodgy first 10 minutes, but I thought as the game grew on, he was just magnificent again. And he's really, really exciting me for the future with having him at left back. Alex?
I'm going to go with a 9. He lost the ball once, which docks him a point. I'm not really going to dock him for losing foot races against.
He lost the ball once, so I'm docking him a point. If you were to do that with every Newcastle
in a very dangerous area, he lost the ball in a really dodgy area, which you can't do. Again, that's why he was taken out the side to develop.
Yeah.
But I can't punish him for losing a foot race against Brian Mbeumo because that's not fair. He's quicker than everyone on that pitch. I think Gordon's probably the only one that could have been close to him if he was fit. He is lightning quick. But yeah, Billy's right. His left foot's incredible. He didn't even have a shot, really. I'm surprised. I thought he kind of had license to have at least 1 pop per game. But his long balls is, as soon as he gets past his man as well, he's just quite happy to. We talk about, I've been whinging there's a lack of a maverick. Well, our left back, if he beats his first man, He goes on a wander. Love it. Absolutely love it. He's quite happy to take 3 or 4 players on, drive all the way into the pitch. All of a sudden, everyone's in the wrong place. There's loads of space. It's chaos. Opposition hate it. It's amazing. I mean, 9 out of 12 ground duels. He's 18. He's 18 years old. This kid's a freak. The fact that we've got Livramento, Lewis Miley, Lewis Hall, it's really promising. Like, this kid's good. Like, he's outside shout of a Euros squad, but it depends on who's fit fullback wise for Southgate in the Euros. I think it's probably a bit too late for him. He needed to start running the team maybe 6 games earlier than this in the season. But he's going to be unlucky to not get in because he's fantastic. 9, incredible.
Peter Garthwaite, thank you for a super chat. He says, "Is Howe making the contract decisions?" I don't know, but this is why we need director of football sorted out very quickly as well. Luke says, Lloyd Kelly is apparently hanging on the underside of the old 747 en route to Oz. Not too clever considering he's made of entirely of paper. At least he's keen to join the way, lads. I think it looks like Lloyd Kelly will be a Newcastle player. But there you go. Right. Billy, do you like just a quick question? Just we'll pause the ratings for a second, just while I ask Billy, do you like it on that ass?
Well, socks, no.
Okay.
On that arse socks, on that ass socks, whatever. But I mean, surely that's the wrong part of the anatomy to be wearing your socks.
I would assume so as well, yes. Anyway, let's move on now to the centre backs. We'll go with Fabian Schär. Lady Sam.
I think pretty solid performance. I think it was good to get him back. I've gone for a 7 for him. I don't think he didn't knock my socks off, but yeah, an 8. Fair.
Yeah, you said 7 first. Which one are you going for?
I'm going for 7. Let me stick to 7.
Right. I'm going for 7 as well. I agree with everything you said there, Sam. I thought he was just he was steady away back. Great to see him back. Didn't do anything particularly wrong. Didn't come out with the wrong attitude or anything. I thought he was sound. Alex,
I'm going to go with a 6. It was okay. Player returning from injury. Funny game. We didn't have as much of the ball as I thought we were going to. Brentford out possession just in both halves. And 1 out of 5 long balls. He didn't quite pick his man enough. I thought. Gave away a couple of cheap fouls. He was a bit naughty, a bit nasty.
I like that side of Fabian. I like the nasty side. He's got, we need
but there's a time and a place for it. There's a time and a place where you want to do it to relieve pressure or just to stop them getting any momentum or counters. It was kind of inappropriate timings. He wasn't great in the duel. He wasn't great in the long ball. It's better. He was still better than what we were doing a few weeks ago with improvisation, definitely. But it's fine. He's just come back after injury. Tiny bit rusty. It was a 6. It was fine.
Naeem says Bruno G. Gannon nowhere. Toon's maestro. His Kinder eggs will definitely be melted by the time he lands in Aussie. Love the TTR. Number 1 Toon channel. Thank you very much. And I probably pronounced your name wrong there, so I do apologize. But hey, I'm on fire tonight with names. Billy, here's the thing.
Let's turn around and said, now, here's the thing. Schär's attitude was much better, which is what hasn't been available at times the last few weeks. Attitude was good. Yeah, didn't really have a lot to do, I didn't think, really. I'll give him a 6.
Okay, fair enough. Right, Dan Byrne. I'm going to give Big Dan B a 7. I thought he was, again, steady away at the back yesterday. No problems at all. Without a doubt, this guy is a centre-back and not a left-back, Eddie Howe. Let's not do that again, shall we? But I think Dan Byrne is going to play a decent part next season as well as a squad player. Maybe if we bring in a couple of centre-backs or one, I think he'd be a squad player, but a very good squad player to have. So, there you go. 7. Alex?
Yeah, 7. I thought he was marginally better than Schär. He didn't have as much to do because he had great cover from Lewis Hall. So he was protected. And this is exactly what I think you've just summed it up there. He's got deficiencies as a fullback. Lewis Hall kind of counteracts those deficiencies and he's allowed to play into his strengths as a centre-half on that left side. but he's still got the know-how of a fullback because he's played so often there. So he can cover in the right ways. So he's a really useful, versatile player, and he showed that. He was very careful with the ball. 7 clearances. He was very tidy on the ball with 89% passing accuracy. 7, nice and solid. Him and Botman as their left-sided centre-halves. If we bring in Lloyd Kelly as well, we're absolutely stacked in that area. We shouldn't have any problems next season, hopefully.
Yeah. I got the name spot on. Like the footballer on Billy's Tales, remember? Yes, I do. Billy Bob.
Dan Burn, yeah. It looks a better play with the armband on, I've got to say. He didn't look against Manchester United when Trippier was back in. But I thought he was at fault for the second goal. Probably should do a little bit more there. Try and get a block on or try and get close to Vissa. I'll give him a 6.
Okay. Lady Sam?
I've gone for 7 as well. I think remains worthy of his position. Seemed to take a little bit of time to settle, but solid 7.
Okay. Right, let's move to Bruno Guimaraes. Billy?
2 assists, goal, controlled the game. Back to his best. 10 out of 10 for me.
Yep, 10 for me. Exactly the same reasons. You can't get better than that. You just can't. He was absolutely superb. Lady Sam?
10. He's just amazing.
Alex?
Comfortable 10. Even SofaScore, I've got him on a 9.4. They've even changed it. It was a 9.2 yesterday. They've upped it to a 9.4.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. 7 out of 11 ground duels, which has changed as well. It was just everything. He had everything. Creativity, La Pausa, the goal. Just ridiculous. He drew 5.
The what, sorry?
Oh, we haven't got time to explain what that is, Paul.
Right.
Think Iniesta stuff. Think that little micro pause you have on the ball to make a player commit or alter their body position or shape to then play a more appropriate pass. It's something that not many English players typically have.
Hey, Billy does that on a dance floor on a Friday night, man.
And Bruno has it in abundance for somebody who's a defensive player. And again, we've got to remember that this guy's a 6. This guy's a DM. He has been all season, but 15 goal contributions is absurd. He drew 5 fouls as well, 5 free kicks for the team. And most of them, as I recall, were really important ones in front of our box to stop the pressure. He's fantastic at it. A 10, easiest 10 I've given him all season. Probably the best performance out of any of them all season because it was such a complete performance of everything: defending, attacking, assists, goals, free kicks, bent cross, all of it. He had absolutely everything and a celebration. What was missing? There was literally nothing missing from that performance. It was perfect.
Yep. Right, Sean Longstaff, Lady Sam.
Oh yeah, do you know what?
Literally every week we do the player ratings. The first one that has to do Sean Longstaff always goes.
Oh, yeah, do you know what? It's hard because we need the depth of squad next season. Otherwise, I'd be saying the sun has set on his time as a first team player for us. We need to have the depth of squad though, so he has to stay. Unfortunately, I've given him a 6. The goal offside, unfortunately. Joe Linton strengthens his performance though. I just think he's fallen too far this season, given our trajectory and where we want to go.
Okay. I've gone with a 5. Same reasons, really. I just think, yes, he's going to be a squad member next season, but he's not one of these players that you think, oh, get in, Sean's going to be with us next season. I think you play a sort of bit part next season as a squad member. 5 for me. Alex?
I think we're still all being a bit harsh. I think he's more than good enough to be a squad player. He knows the system, he knows the lads, he knows the shape, he knows everything. And when he's fit, we know he's better. He can be better than this when he's fit. And it was okay. It was fine. He was better physically in that performance. His passes were okay. 3 successful dribbles as well. And he put the ball in the back of the net. It was off in other circumstances, which is not down to him. When the chips were down, he did put it in the back of the net. Fair enough to him. I'm going to give him a 6. It was solid, and I'm quite happy for Sean to stay and be back up to Tonali and be rotation. I think he's more than good enough to be a rotation player. Yep. But I think we're just being really harsh because we want big things and trophies, and
Well, you know what it is.
fine to be
Let's
part of
just
the
see how he
squad
does
setup.
with the summer off. Let's see,
I
recuperate, get the
like
injury
Sean
sorted,
as,
and get back next season. And maybe we will. Maybe we will see the
But
better
we've seen
Sean.
the goal output this season, and we saw when he had a spell where he was physically really good early on in the season. There's flashes there. Again, he's homegrown, trained at club. He's useful as a squad player. He's peak age. There's no point in selling him. It's just going to hurt the squad overall. We might as well keep him and try and use him as rotation. Of course, Tonali's going to be the guy. So if Sean plays 20, 25 times next year and helps, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Billy?
I like him attacking wise. He gets into space.
Absolutely. Yeah, he does make good runs, doesn't he?
He finds room in the box. You know,
Yeah.
he makes very clever little runs. I do have a little bit issue with his defensive work yesterday. He allowed players to go past him at times. Jenalt certainly did at times, and so did Jensen. But again, that's down to his fitness, I imagine. I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay. Right. Let's move on to the other midfielder now. It was Elliot Anderson. So we will.
No, it wasn't. It was Joe Linton.
Of course, it was Joe. Right, I've basically shouted at myself there. Let's do Joe Linton, shall we? Billy.
Yeah, glad to see him back. And for such a long time out, it was an awesome performance. Probably a 9 on any other given day, but because it was his first game back starting, I'm going to give him a 10.
Yeah, I've gone with a 10 as well for exactly those reasons. I think it just brilliant to have him back. Absolutely brilliant. Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to extend. I don't even care what his actual rating is. He's getting a 10 because he's come in well, I say injured. He's not fully match fit. It takes you several games to get up to that match fitness. Again, he's not a slight guy either. He's got a lot of size about him. So it's hard for him to get up to full speed match fitness wise. And he deserves the 10 because he's come in on the final game of the season where we absolutely needed 3 points. Yeah. And he worked his socks off. He got booking. Well, I say bookings. He got 1 booking, but he threw himself about. He was a destroyer. He broke up play. He was careful with the ball again. 90% passing accuracy for somebody who is a bit of an oaf, who just throws himself around. He's also got that technical ability.
That's a little bit harsh, Alex.
He is. He throws himself about with his power, but 90% passing accuracy. He's a lot better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's got that extra bit of finesse and grace about him that people, although that first miss was a bit frustrating for him. I'm sure he was more annoyed than even we are. But you know, it was interesting for him. A couple of key passes, a couple of long balls. The shot off target was a shame. Got himself in good areas. Was a man mountain. Played 81 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 10. Great to see him back. We want to see him available for way more fixtures next season, hopefully.
Yeah. Sam?
9 from me. I absolutely adore this man's work rate. Unlike Miggy's work rate, Joe Linton actually has the execution to back it up with as well. Thank goodness for Amanda for facilitating his new deal. Just love him.
Yeah. Tristan says, Paul, where was Harrison on your list? I just noticed he's missing. He hasn't gone. That's why he's not on the list. He's not on... He's not in
None
Australia.
of the ones I've seen, anyway.
He's not. Michael Burge is stat also why is Longstaff consistently shit? Sell. I don't think. I think that's harsh, Michael. I don't actually think he's consistently shit. I think I agree with what Stat was saying. I think he does have a lot to offer. We haven't seen it this season because obviously, you know, we're being told he's injured, so we have to go with what we're being told. And let's see how he comes back next season after a good rest and getting injury sorted. Yeah, he has
6 goals, 2 assists, a goal in the Champions League. Homegrown, trained at club.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see what he's like next season. You know, after this, give him a rest, get this injury sorted once and for all, and come back fully fit.
I don't get 6 goals in the Prem by accident either.
He'll get plenty of rest next season as well. Let's be honest, he's not going to be a starter every week. No way in God's earth.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Okay, let's move to the front three now. Jacob Murphy, Billy.
First half, phenomenal. Yeah, really good first half. Faded a little bit second half, but a goal. So you got to score him quite highly. I'll give him an 8.
Okay, Sam?
Sorry, I was replying to a chat. Who were we doing?
Murphy.
Thanks for
Murphy,
screaming.
eight.
It's fine. No worries.
I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. I can't focus on so many things.
It's fine.
Assisted goals, a beautiful goal of his own. I think some early long shots as well at the keeper. We don't often see that, so it was actually nice to get a little bit of something different from him, albeit coming into form right at the end of the season. But looking forward to seeing him for next.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, really useful. Again, I'm going to offer the same sort of insight as I said to Murph, as I said about Longstaff. Is there are worse squad players to have if we're going to bring in better right wingers, possibly. Jacob Murphy's fantastic. I mean, he's close to 10 goal contributions this season, if not 10. He got a goal. He worked his socks off, a couple of nice early shots, left-footed, right-footed, tested the goalkeeper, worked hard off the ball, won the ball back to create another goal. Impeccable work. I'm going to give him a 9. Again, I don't know what much more he could have done to get a 10 from me. Maybe whip a ball in and get an assist, but it was, for what Murphy does, it was a perfect performance from him. That's why he's in the side, to do exactly what he did in that game. So yeah, brilliant.
I've gone for an 8. I was really pleased with his performance yesterday. He wasn't great in the previous 2 games, of course, and I just think he's got something to offer. And let's be honest, the Murphy family had one hell of a weekend this weekend, with his brother Josh scoring 2 in the playoff final for Oxford. So really good weekend for them. Yeah, I'm pleased for Jacob, and I like Jacob Murphy. I think he's a Newcastle fan, and he really puts himself out there and works hard. Even when he has bad games, he comes back and he works on it and is better. Luke, thank you for your super chat. He says, I'm in the boozer with Sky Sports on in the background. Anyone else that reckon that Sue Smith with the big quiff looks like Flevel from An American Tale?
Fievel. I remember American Tale.
Who's Flevel?
Fievel.
No,
Fievel Mastowitz. No? Anybody?
No.
Luke knows the crack. Good on you, Luke.
Let's move on to Harvey Barnes now. Sam?
7. I think header for the goal, excellent. I think a little bit off until that moment, in all honesty, but in the right position to just get that in. It was brilliant. And I didn't think we saw a lot after him. I think he's really clinical, and I would just like to see him get his hands dirty a little bit more. That's me.
Well, yeah, I've gone with a 7 as well, actually, and for many of the same reasons. I was going to say I just want to see him a little bit more involved. I don't think he was. I think he gets. Sometimes I think I look and think, right, the left hand side when he's playing there, and Lewis Hall's on the pitch. Lewis Hall kind of. You see Lewis Hall more than you do Harvey Barnes, and it's a little bit strange, but we'll see how he does next season. I'm willing to give him an opportunity, to be honest. Francisco says, Sam, I'm with you. I remember that great movie. Love you guys. All the best, matey. Hope you're well. I've never heard of it. Anyway, Alex.
Right, Harvey Barnes. So I'm going to start off by saying Paul's had a Castore by putting Harvey Barnes in the man of the match pick, because now Isak's excluded. And I think that's justified by the fact Barnes is on 3% of the vote at the moment. Barnes was great for the goal, cracking positioning, great leap, great header. We bought him to score goals. He scores goals. However, I didn't see a lot else. There were a couple of decent defensive contributions to win a couple of free kicks. I wasn't as impressed in other areas of it. I'll give him a 7 because he scored a goal. He gets paid to score goals, but I just wanted to see more in other parts of his game. But I do feel like he's been done dirty there, Isak, by not being in that vote. Definitely.
Well, Alex, you can kiss my gorilla's ass, right? Billy.
Movement for the goal was brilliant. To get into this, the centre of the box and get his head on it was brilliant. But I agree with the rest of you. It didn't do a lot else for me. Wasn't very creative. Hasn't really got the pace that other players on that side have got, like Gordon and our previous left winger. So I'll give him a 7 as well.
Right. Well, I was just about to say, right, I was under pressure there at the start of the show when I was putting that poll up, because I need to get the poll up very quickly for the viewers to vote. And I was incredibly under pressure. And, I will remember these, Alex. So next time we do meet up, I will punch you in the middle of the face. But then again, it'll be very hard because my punch is about 5 foot taller than you. So anyway, Dan Robinson says, just got home. We'll use TTR on demand to catch up. Great season, great commentary, great shows. You guys are amazing. What a season considering. How are the lads? Thank you, Dan, and thank you for your consistent contributions. That wasn't easy to say. Baz Down Under says Billy laughed. Yeah, because he likes it when Alex has a little bit of a dig at me. He just has. It's just like it's the terrible twos there. You know what I mean? It's like dastardly and muttly. Anyway, finally we'll move on to Alexander Isak, who should have been in for man of the match, but he wasn't. Because Alex put me under pressure. So there you go. Billy.
Sorry.
Yeah, much better. Looked really on his game yesterday. He did look knackered at times, but got through it. He got a second wind and carried on in the same mould. Brilliant finish for his goal. Involved in virtually everything we did creatively. I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 9 as well. Mainly for he managed to cough up 2 dinosaurs in the first 15 minutes of the game that I thought he was actually going to choke. I don't know what it was that was coming out of his mouth, but it had bones. So well done to Isak for getting through the first half in the way he did. So yeah, 9 for me. Sam.
Yeah, a 9 as well. That was funny.
Okay. Alex?
I'm going to give him a 10. I thought he was fantastic off the ball, fantastic on the ball. He drifted out to the right, to the left, centrally. His assist was world class. His goal was
not
solid.
doing the sudden hokey cokey, man.
I thought he should have squared it for the goal. Before he pulled the trigger, I thought it might be better to square it. What do I know? Let the 9 take the shot.
Actually, there was another instance of that where he should have passed to Murphy and he didn't get the shot away. So never mind, he did.
But yeah, 4 shots as well. Yeah, I'm giving him a 10. I thought he was fantastic.
Okay.
Even the long stuff ball offside was fantastic as well.
Yeah,
he was only a microcosm offside, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, well, there you go. Not a change to see Alex disagreeing with us. But there you go. 12-man Toon, thank you for another super chat. Thank you for the entertainment this season. Everyone brought something to the table, and Sam has been a fantastic addition. 50k next season for the Toon review. Thank you, matey. Much appreciated. Right, substitutes, Alex, when did they make their appearances?
We had
67 minutes, just a guess.
Oh, yeah, it was 67, wasn't it? Round about that time, I think.
So it was
it's Eddie O'Clock.
68, close. It was a double change. Miggy and Anderson on for Barnes and Murphy.
Right, okay. We'll do them together. Billy, Miggy, and Anderson.
Anderson, yeah, I liked his work. He was very physical, very strong on that left-hand side, trying to hold play up and things. Got unfairly dealt with by the referee a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So I'll give him a 7. I don't remember Miggy doing absolutely anything, to be honest, so I'll give him a 5.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I think Elliot Anderson deserves at least a 7. He definitely, the referee did him very dirty. A couple of fouls that were absolutely not fouls. He was great at kind of trying to wrestle back the game, although they did score after that substitution. I'm pretty sure it was after then. But yeah, he was really solid. He definite improvement from the other day. I need to do Miggy as well.
Yeah. It's not difficult for Miggy, Alex, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, his data's fine. He completed every pass, every dribble. He was careful with the ball. We were winning.
He only passed about 4 yards each time, Alex. To be fair,
I'll give him a 5. But again, he wasn't tasked with being super creative. He was tasked with, let's just see this game out. We need to get the 4th.
He completed every smile as well, to be fair to him.
He did. Expected smiles completed. He definitely gets the most there.
Does he get a bonus for that?
Billy Trey, never go that close to the camera and do that again. I mean, that will give children nightmares. Anthony Stafford says, Big John Fury here. I will fight anyone on the Toon review except Paul, who is mad, or Billy. Thanks very much. Sam?
Well, I'm up for a scrap if that's what you're talking about.
Well, you're always up for a scrap, you. I mean, Jesus Christ. You're like one of my pugs. You're like Scrappy Doo.
I'm like Scrappy Doo. I'm daddy. Anyway, Murphy. No, he came on for Murphy. Miggy. I'd probably give him a 5. Did he really touch the ball that much even? I don't know. Elliot Anderson, 7. I think he's always great positionally. And I love that he's always asking, if not screaming, for the ball as well. And yes, he was quite harshly dealt with the ref.
Oh, can I just bring a comment up about Anderson? Somebody's very much not happy with Anderson. Giving the ball away constantly, doing stupid League 2 skills that do nothing at this level. I think that's really harsh. When you're entitled to your opinion, but I think that's very harsh.
Maybe so. I'm giving him a 7 for yesterday, Anderson, and I'm giving Miggy a 3. What are you chuckling at now?
It's funny. He was shy. I mean, I'll give him a 5 just to be polite, but 3, fair enough.
I've got to be honest. He did nothing, did he? I mean, how you've given him a 5, I'll never know in a million years. He did absolutely nothing.
How many times did he touch the ball? It couldn't have been more than 10 times.
Did nothing wrong, did he?
No, nothing wrong. But
didn't do anything right, so that's why I went halfway in the middle.
Interesting. Wacky says, will you be doing TTR staff awards like who had the biggest Castoria, etc., or Castor? Well, we'll see on the season review. We normally do a little bit of a funny thing. I think, didn't we do a host of the year last year? And I think...
New Year.
Well, we'll do it again.
I quite enjoyed the whole year of that accolade. Thank you.
It's a 6-monthly thing, Billy. Right. Next on, Alex.
It was 81st minute. We had Trippier and Wilson on for Joe Linton and Isak.
I mean, are we really going to rate them for 9 minutes of football? I don't think
so.
Nah,
Wilson got involved enough to hold the ball up, see the game out. Trippier again was wasting a bit of time and careful.
Alex, I'm not scoring someone for being for wasting a bit of time and being careful.
But it all counts towards getting us the points, doesn't it? So
6 apiece, eh?
All right, let's do that then. Well done, Billy. The voice of reason.
Dummett came on as well.
Well, we're not even.
I'm giving Dummett a 0 because if he stays, I'm gutted. I'm sorry. The man's played. I like Paul Dummett. Again, the first thing that initiated me joining this channel was Paul was something I wrote about Paul Dummett a while ago. So yes. I do like Paul Dummett. However, 20 minutes of Premier League football. Yeah, but again, he lost us points this season by being silly. He was tasked with being the experienced, cool, calm head that would come on and see a game out. Not going to be amazing, but he's going to be reliable. And he came on and did the opposite of that. So he's burned his bridge in that regard, as far as I'm concerned. I
mean, you don't go into the penalty area and do a stone cold stunner on Ashley Young. You know what I mean?
2 points dropped there. And as far as I'm concerned, let's do your testimonial and go sign for Wrexham. Let's be done with it now, yeah?
Okay.
Well, he's Welsh, isn't he? So
is he? He's as much Welsh as one of my ass hairs, right? Just not a chance.
Oh, right, Howard, man. Right, we're flatlining now.
He went to school in Heaton, that well-known part of Wales.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to the manager finally. Edward Howe, Lady Sam.
Do you know what? I'm probably gonna go with actually an 8 because I actually like the side that we put out. It was what I've been wanting to see. Finally getting Pope. I feel like I'm marking down from anything more than a 9 by giving him an 8, just because I was happy to see him finally get Pope back. So yeah.
Dave Telford says, apparently I'm obsessed with arse. Well, there's only one arse I love, and that's my fiance Susan's. Anyway, quickly moving on. Billy Bob, Eddie Howe.
Well, I've been critical of him, but he got us. He managed his side to got 3 points yesterday. I wish we'd seen that kind of side playing in the game or two before that. But he got there eventually. I'll give him an 8.
Okay. I'm giving him an 8 as well. I think he made the decision to bring Pope back. Obviously, Joe Linton starting. I think he got the subs right. Even though you can literally put a mortgage on what time he's going to make his first substitutions. We'll see if that ever changes. But yeah, 8 for me. Alex.
7. I think the team picks itself. I really do. I think the team picks itself. I think after what happened, you have to pick Nick Pope and Joe Linton after what's happened. Gordon's out. Trippier's not fit. I think the team definitely picks itself.
Does it though?
Yeah, I think it does. Absolutely.
I'm not sure it did yesterday, Alex.
Yeah.
I think it does. I think you can't exclude Joe Linton and Pope and Cher
Well, he did on Wednesday.
No, but this is the final day. If he excludes all of those and we don't get through to 7,
well, I know that, but
then...
you could say that he's done that. He should have done that Wednesday. If you're going to knock him down for that, he should have done it Wednesday when there was a lot more at stake, when it was still in our hands.
I still gave him a 7. I think that's a very positive score. I think he handled it fairly well. Again, we were 3-0 up at half time. Obviously, they scored a very irritating goal early on in the second half. People just being lazy, not switched on. I thought we did everything right, but I don't think it warrants more than a 7. It was okay. I think the team picked itself, in my opinion.
Okay. Dave Talbot says, it's your own arse you seem obsessed with, mate. I love this channel. It's nothing. Listen, you have to love yourself, Mr. Telford. You have to love yourself. Everybody should love themselves for being who they are. Anyway, don't say a word, Billy.
Love myself too much.
Oh, God almighty. Do you know what? I was worried what he's going to do there because I saw his eyes roll back like the Undertaker, and then I thought, nah, he's actually going there. He's doing it. He's going to say it.
Yeah, he went there.
You know, it is what it is. Right, that is it for the review show. Thank you, everybody. Well over 1,000 watching tonight. Thank you very, very much for your support, guys. Thank you for all your memberships and your super chats, etc. Really do appreciate that. Thank you to the mods as well. Thank you to Alex, Billy, and Sam. But of course, the main thank you goes to you guys out there for turning up on this Monday evening. Thank you so much for all your support. We will be back. Of course, me and Billy will be bringing you Match Day Live on Wednesday morning for the friendly. There will be a variety of shows coming up, transfer shows, news shows, because it's never going to stop with Newcastle United over the summer either. We've got, of course, the season review show to do as well. So we'll be doing little daft awards on there as well, like player of the season and stuff like that. And we'll be getting you involved with polls. So there'll be a lot of polls on the season review. I haven't forgot the man of the match poll, Alex. So you can... I'm going to ban you from putting comments up. I swear to God. Right. Who do you think won man of the match, guys?
Bruno.
It was Bruno with 50% of the votes. Over 800 votes tonight. 50% for Bruno, 31 for Lewis Hall, 16 for Joe Linton. And would you believe 82% for Harvey Barnes?
What was it actually?
2.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'm ending the poll now because that's the worst thing I've done tonight, despite getting many numerous names wrong, insult the Japanese, insult the Australians. I mean, it's just been a wonderful show. So thank you, everybody, for watching. You've been absolute legends. Keep an eye on the socials, of course, for when we upload any shows, videos, news shows, or we schedule in the live ones. And we will see you on the next one. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening, folks. Good night.
How are you, the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out some green.